had been married for about 5 years when we decided it was time to try and have a baby. And I think everybody thinks that it will just happen as soon as you're ready for it, but for us that wasn't the case.
Right.
It took us 2 years to get pregnant with Lila. It was probably 3 hours after Lila was born. And the neonatal special care nurses came in and they said, "We're not sure, but we see some of the soft signs of Down syndrome in your baby."
Yeah. I remember sitting there holding Lila and thinking, how dare you tell me that she's not perfect? Our definition of perfect has changed completely, and we still have our perfect daughter. She's just different than what we thought she would be.
And I think it has made us too realize that perfect is different for everybody. And our normal just includes a little bit of a different road.
Yeah. And we started looking into options, and so the first place I went was Siskin Children's Institute.
It was about, 6 weeks after we had Lila that we came to become a part of the Siskin Institute home visiting program. And we first met Beth, who is our interventionist at our home. And I'll never forget the first thing that she said. She looked at Lila and she said, "We're gonna be best friends." And I think it was the first time that anybody had looked at her and besides us and not seen the Down syndrome. She just saw a baby that she wanted to be a part of her life and love and help us along. And
Beth has been fantastic to work with us to develop a plan and to develop a strategy and to develop milestones that, because of her and because of the program and because of the work that she's doing, Lila is exceeding by leaps and bounds.
And all we can do is be thankful that a place like Siskin Children's Institute exists in Chattanooga and that they were there when we needed them.
Life's gonna be all right.
We laugh and say that there are definitely more ups than downs.
We're the Milburns, and we are Siskin Children's Institute.
I always knew that I was going to be a teacher when I grew up. It wasn't really like I had to think about it. I just knew that I was going to be a teacher. And as I started to get older, I knew that I'm not just going to be a teacher, I'm going to work with children with special needs. We do so many things in our classroom, but I think the thing that I'm personally the most passionate about is we teach our children how to be good learners, how to be critical thinkers. We focus on independence, social relationships, and engagement, and those are the things that children need to be successful. And that's why we need to be successful, even as adults. Here at the Institute, we have so much support in our classrooms, and you really don't have that anywhere else. I think as a teacher, all of the kids in your classroom hold a very special place in your heart. This one little boy in my classroom, he has changed me. I will be a different person because of him. The few words that he had were no and stop and get away. I tried everything I knew and I didn't feel like I was being successful with him. We were actually at one of our professional development in-service trainings upstairs for teachers, and Dr. McWilliam was teaching us about challenging behavior. So I brought up this situation with this little boy and told him, I can't, if I'm in the center with him, he's telling me to get away. Dr. McWilliam looked at me and he said, "Well, do you?" And I thought, no, I don't. And he said, how can you expect him to listen to you when the few words that he has, you're not placing meaning to them? So I thought, wow, well, that makes sense. So he would say to me, no, stop, get away. I would, and I would get up and I would walk away. This little boy started realizing that, oh, she's listening to me. And From that point forward, those few words that he had turned into 4 and 5 words and turned into sentences. And now when he gets to the classroom, he starts talking the minute he walks in, and he doesn't stop talking until he leaves. And it's just one of those moments where you think, wow, this is why we do this. This is why I'm a teacher. I'm Allison Thompson, and I'm Siskin Children's Institute.
Our son Daniel has been diagnosed on the autism spectrum. I think his challenges are abstract concepts on fundamental things. ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, things like that come very easily to Daniel, but the abstract concepts, things of that nature cause more of a challenge to him. In that way, he thinks very concretely.
Daniel sees things in black and white. There's no shades of gray for him.
We started with the Institute's home visitation program, and then when Daniel turned 3, he transitioned into the early learning centers, and then through them we were introduced to the Institute's researchers.
Mainly Daniel's issues are food aversions and a social interaction.
Of all of our challenges that we had, I think one of the most concerning is when your child won't eat. That's hard to relate to. Someone had introduced us to Dr. Buggy and the Institute researchers. What it did is it started with the basis of being very visual learners, and he videotaped Daniel. He videotaped him eating, and sometimes if they couldn't prompt him to eat, they made it appear as if he ate. We showed this video to Daniel daily, and for him to see himself eating these foods, it made it acceptable. It made it visual for him. Kind of gave us a better glimpse of how his mind worked, and gave us the ability to apply it to other areas. What happens with places like the Institute is sometimes people don't realize what a gift it is until you really need it. And to have these resources in Chattanooga is a gift.
We are the Stevens family. We are Siskin Children's Institute.